Hi everyone and welcome to Gemma's Window. If you looked at the calculations in the box below or checked out the calculations on my website, gemmaswindow.com, and you have concluded you're a power year number 7, then you are at the right place. If you are a power year number 7, the month of January is the month of 8 for you. Now these are two conflicting numbers, so let's talk about what they mean. Power year number 7 is it's a quiet year. It's meant for you to be quiet. Now all kinds of action may be happening around you, but it's meant for you to take a step back, not be too vocal, and to think about what is your purpose, what do you really want, where does your faith lie, what do you believe in, what do you think happens to you when you die? It's all about being quiet. And another thing about 7, it's focusing on one thing. It's specializing on something. It's not having your hands in too many cookie jars. Now, the month of 8 is much more vibrant, pow, wham. It can be a very successful month for you financially. So when you're looking for that job or you're looking for that promotion, this is a very good month to follow through with that. Even though you're in the quiet year of 7, these things still happen. And 8 is also about not being the victim anymore and not being pushed around is one thing, but knowing how to handle it and not going into victim mode of poor me is another thing. So those are the thrusts that we're talking about. I've pulled some cards for business, I've pulled some cards for love, and I'm going to pull some cards with you about any situation in your life that you would like an answer to, and we're going to get to that, and it's a lot of fun. Now you have 3 big power number days in the month of January, and those days are 9, 18, and 27. And those are days that pack a punch as far as getting a job, getting a raise, a bonus, making wise investments along those lines. It's a good strong month for you, okay? So starting over here with business, for anybody who has a job at present and you're wondering about where do I stand, how is it going, what do I have to look forward to, what I have here is really positive. You have happening the Wheel of Fortune card, and it means that somehow, some way, you're going to be pushed into a more fortunate position this month in the month of January, and you're going to feel mighty fine about yourself at the end of the day. You're going to feel very happy. Now, apparently you've paid your dues. What I'm seeing here in the past is that you have stuck up for another individual, or you have helped with a client. Whatever you have done, or you've been quiet when other promotions and things were handed out, whatever you have done, things are going to improve for you. I would even say, if you're thinking about changing jobs and you're not sure, is it the right thing? I would say yes. The reason why the other job has either fallen into your lap or caught your eye, or you're suddenly hearing from them now, is because it's the universe pushing you to make a move towards greatness. You're meant to do that. Now, for people who are looking for the job, I also think you're going to be having luck this month of January. Between the number 8, and I wouldn't just say the number 8, but between this Wheel of Fortune card and then the next card is you're really proud of yourself and you're going, wow, how did that happen? It's about fluky things happening for you, getting a phone call you weren't expecting, seeing an old friend that has a connection somewhere. So go ahead and push for the unlikely. Look for the unlikely and let it fall into your lap. Let's pull one more clarification card for you about getting that job, 7s, and finding that job in the month of 8. Excuse me. There is going to be some kind of fortunate situation that happens for you that will put a job in your lap. And It's a nice card. But I do want to tell you, you're in the month of 8 in January. February is your month of endings. March is your month of new beginnings. So if it's not an overnighter for you, you're going into that March, April time where the numbers are beautiful for you. So even if the card that I just pulled is my 10 of Cups card, and that is the very strong relationship card, somehow you have a relationship that you are going to be able to rely on. It may be with your skill. You may have a relationship with a particular skill. You may have a relationship with a school. You may have a relationship with an old friend or a current employee or a boss even who will help you, or an ex-boss, move into something coming into fruition. So between now and March and April, it should be there for you for that new position. Let's take a look at love. Okay, so we're in this month of 7, and what I have here for you is I feel like there's been some kind of tumultuous changes, abrupt changes in the past or in the recent past. If it hasn't happened yet, then maybe coming very, very soon. 8, again, you're in that month of 8, and it's a powerhouse. You know, it packs a punch. And somebody else may have gotten a relocation or something, and you're like, what to do? What it says here is, hang in there. Even if this has been going on for a long time, you're towards a conclusion of this situation. The next card that I get is the Second Chance at Love card. So either in the relationship that you're in, if there is a little bit of topsy-turvy going on or suddenly happens in the month of January, it's going to even out and be okay. If you've been looking and waiting for that person to come back that you were in a relationship with, there's the card. It's going to be okay. Now, this is a reading for January. You know, we can't control timing, but the best that we can do is look at your numbers, look at the cards, and they're here. And it's saying, mind your own business, keep your energy in, don't start telling everybody messages that you want this person to get if you want to get back together with them. Cool it, let it fall into place and let them come back. Cards are saying that they are. Now, if you're looking for that new relationship, again, you too can benefit from this another chance at love card, meaning that I feel like what these cards are saying is you don't have to get into the singles parade going down Main Street, you know, with a banner. I feel like these cards are saying that there has been things that have been happening in the background that you don't know about that will put somebody in your space at the right time and at the right place. And that I don't feel like you have to go out on too much of a limb. Now, naturally, you've got to do something. Sitting home may not cut it, but sitting home may cut it. And if you have a friend that suddenly calls you and says, you know what, I'm just having a couple people over tonight, you feel like coming. Yes, that may fall into your lap, but it still means brushing your hair and going somewhere, okay? And I think it looks really good for love coming back to you in all situations. Okay, let's look at some romantic days though for you. Really good days for romance in January would be the 7th, the 16th, and the 25th. And I do want to tell you, days for endings. Just in case something goes awry and it hasn't happened yet, and then it will come around and be okay. But those days would be the 1st, January 10th, January 19th, and January 28th. Let's also take a look now. If you would think of a situation in your life that you would like an answer to, and it can be one of the situations that we've just asked about. And we're going to pull 3 cards to see what's the best outcome we can find to that situation. Okay. Okay. These are really nice cards, and I'm trying to determine exactly how to analyze them. Okay, one way to look at this is if something huge has ended, or you feel like it's about to end, the cards are suggesting that it's not going to end, or it's not going to end completely. There is still going to be an attachment, and it's still going to morph into something very positive. The card in the actual what's going to happen position is the perfect partnership card. Really, really strong card. I think that what the suggestion is here, because they're really good, strong cards, is that something may come, think of your question, and the answer may be a little bit different than what you expect, and you may have to do a little bit of compromising or backtracking or redoing. But ultimately, you're absolutely right with your inclination on pushing forward or hoping that it happens, or trying to figure out how to make it happen. There's also a card that talks about you may have to reach into the past for some information, or take the information that you've learned or will learn that's from the past that has to do with your question and consider it. Because I feel like there's a compromise. There's a compromise that happens, and it has something to do with something that's happened before. It's a job, and there is this other employee, and you're both neck and neck for this promotion. And even though it looks like you get ahead or have a higher consideration, they don't want to leave this other person behind, and so they have to acknowledge them too in some way. Like, this is just an example. This could be, your question could be about anything. Let's say that you have a new love situation in your life, and they have a child with someone else, and there's that kind of consideration that has to go into play, where you'd like to move into a different state, but the compromise is that you can't quite move as far as you wanted to, or we have to relook at how often we have that child. It can't be an afternoon here and there. It has to be a weekend. Like, I feel like there has to be a compromise in something, okay? Now, let's come over here and take a look. There is a day that's the best day to work with others. Okay, and I've got it here. Here we go. Okay, and that would be January 3rd, January 12th, or January 21st. Okay, my lovely sevens, I will see you next month when we discuss what's going on for you. Please jump onto my site if you'd like more information about me, gemmaswindow.com. And if you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you.